this is going to be a demonstration video for a little use case where I put together some of the basic steps that we can chain together to create some useful series of steps to automate a website. The website of choice here is Amazon.com. So what I've done here is first I've used Eclipse. Java is the code of choice, the language, and I have included the web drivers and then the Selenium jar files. I have also included JUnit. So they have all been included here. And then what I've done is there is no record and playback here. It is actually like coding that has been done here. So we are using the web driver for Chrome. So the initial setup is all done, and then what I've done is I've created a series of steps that I've automated. So I can go over the steps manually right now. I want the website to be open first, Amazon.com. Then I want the script to click on bestsellers. Go to electronics on the left navigation, you can see here on my cursor. And then I want to type iPhone. And then I want to sort by bestsellers. Then I want to be able to scrape this information. I want two items for each phone. I want the title of the phone, and then I want the cost. So these are the two things I want to access from the page and write it down in the console, the terminal window. So the thought process is you can do a lot with it. So we could actually like automate the process of like finding the lowest cost, adding it to the cart, or whatever it is that we want to validate. Maybe it could just be that the first 10 items on the page should match with what we think it should be, so we could do validations like that. But for simplicity's sake, in this script I have not done that. All I've done is scrape the page. So I'm like getting the title and the cost, the price. What I'm doing is I'm doing it for all elements on this page, every single product that's available. I am like getting that information, then clicking on next. Once I've done that, so I want to keep doing this till one of two conditions satisfies. Number one, there is no more next button. Let us say the page is really short. We only have like 3 pages, and then after that there is no navigation. I'm not hard coding the page number there. I'm not saying you should only have 3 pages. I'm letting it be open because there could be more products added in the future, and at that time we don't want to go and touch the code. So here there are over 1,000 results, so it's kind of ridiculous if we let the script run. So for my simplicity's sake, I said only scrape the first 10 pages. So I've said either scrape till you reach page 10 or scrape till there is no more next page. So whatever is earlier, it is going to exit on that condition. So that is what I'm doing with my script. So let's look at what are some of the items that we are learning from it. So unlike a record and playback, when you are scripting, when you're writing your own script, you have access to a lot more. You have a lot more control over like how you want to handle this. For example, we are able to look at an element to see if it exists or not on a page and then take actions appropriately, right? So we are able to add some control flow to the program saying if this is the situation, do it, otherwise do this. We are able to loop through and look at each and every item and scrape that result. So there's a lot more. It feels a lot more like a regular programming situation. Selenium Java programming feels a little more intuitive, and you are able to like access all the elements on the page and manipulate them however you want. So here you can see that what I've done, I just want to like go over like how I accomplish this. So what kind of validations I have, and some of the concepts you have learned over the 4 weeks about Selenium WebDriver, I've tried to incorporate as much as possible here. So what all my outputs are going to be like system.out, because I just want them to write to the console here. So that's why I've used that. It's just basic Java command. So this is the setup, right? So we want to set up the Chrome WebDriver. So we want to make sure that this is done. And you have to make sure your Chrome WebDriver is in that path. So what does this mean? This step means that you want to maximize the window. So you want to maximize the window of the Chrome that is being opened. I have used thread.sleep. Thread.sleep means like we want to delay the execution. So sometimes the script goes much faster than the website can handle. So the script will run really fast, but the website has to do a lot more processing. So we want to allow for that time for the products to load, for that bandwidth that is, currently in the situation. So I've given like a 5 second wait time every time. So I want to give a 5 second wait time, and I use this in many places. So there is also another way to do it, but in this particular situation, I only use the thread.sleep. So all I'm doing is I'm doing a driver.get amazon.com, and then I'm like grabbing the title, actual title, by saying driver.get title, and then I'm comparing it to the expected title. So that is where you can see the assert equals. So that's what we are using here. Uh, yeah. Second step is going to be we have to find the element for best sellers. Best seller is a link, so I am saying find it by link text. Okay, instead of saying by ID, I'm just saying find it by the text and then click it. So find the link called best sellers and click it. That's what we are saying right now. So once that happens, again I have a 5 second sleep time. It doesn't have to be 5, you can make it lesser, depending upon like how interactive your website is, but I'm just like playing it safe. I don't want the script to fail because the page didn't load. Okay, next is I'm like printing out the get title. So this is the bestseller title. I'm not validating here. We can validate if we want to, but I'm just not validating. I just want to be sure that the title is captured and written out. Again, it's like scraping the page. Next, I want to find link text electronics. So I want to find the link text electronics. So you may think like why I am using link text. If the link text is unique, you can go with it. If there is duplication of a link text, like the text you have like multiple things with electronics as the link, then you might want to go by the ID. So ID is a sure short way of getting the exact item on the page, but sometimes um, when we code it, we don't code it that way because sometimes we also like want to make sure that we are when we write a web page, we want to make sure that it is as fluid as possible, so we don't like give a lot of IDs sometimes. So it depends on your page, you have to examine the page. So link text is electronic, so that's what we did. Then we give a thread sleep. Next step is to get the title. We did that. Okay, now next step is going to be, once we click on electronics, we want to be able to find the search box and type iPhone. That's what we want to do. So what I am going to do right now, yeah, good. So all I'm saying is so we want to click iPhone here in electronics, right? So in order to know what item that is, Control Shift I, that will bring your developer toolbar. Click on this little arrow and hover over this. You can see it says input and then hashtag. Hashtag means ID. To tab search text box. So you can see the name of the input is to tab search text box on the right side. So that is an input. An input means it's a text box. So that is the one that we want. And then the way we set the value in it is by saying send keys. So that's what I'm doing here. To tab search text box dot send key. So you find the element by ID, hashtag, you saw that, or you can also like see here it says ID equal to, so you could just um, capture that way. So I'm sending the key in that nav search submit button dot click. So what is that? Okay, so we have to click on this one, right? So this one is called, it's an input, an ID is nav search submit button. So I just want to click on this guy so that it'll send the data back to the server. So that's what I'm doing. I'm clicking on that, and then I'm doing a thread.sleep again. So what we covered here is, as you can see, we use thread.sleep to create some kind of a delay in how the script is run. We have opened a web page using the get. We have learned to maximize the window. So let me go in the correct order. So we set up the Chrome driver. We said please maximize the window when you open one. We are using thread.sleep throughout the code to make sure that there is a delay in the execution of the script, and that the script doesn't fail prematurely because it is running faster than the website. So here we are saying get me amazon.com. So we use the get command there. So we are getting the title, and then we are using assert to validate the title. Then we are using different find elements, right? Find element by link text, find element by ID. So we have used two methods here. You can use by class, so many other ways you can like get information. So we are able to do that. We are able to like get that. So we are able to like access an input item element and send value to it and submit. So that's what we've done here. Okay, so the next part is going to be about scraping the page to get two items, right? So we want to be able to get this title and this price. Okay, before that, what are we doing here? We are doing a sort. So I will explain what this is a little later. But what I'm going to be doing is I am creating a list of web elements, because every time we search, all those results have to go into this web element. And then what we can do is like we can loop through the web element and then retrieve one by one. So let's see what's going on here. First, we want to set the sort. So here I have used XPath. So for those of you that are not familiar, you might want to like watch that video on XPaths a little closer. So XPath is basically a way to navigate. So here we want to like get the select item with the name S. So let's find that. So if this is the XPath, okay, so I am on the page right now. I'll show you how to validate the XPath. So we do a Control Shift I to open the developer toolbar. So you have to be on the HTML here, and then you do Control F, so that will let you find by string select or XPath. So let's go and paste our XPath here, and you can see that it found that element. So basically all I'm saying is, hey, there is a select, this one is a select box. Okay, its name is S. The attribute is name, not ID. Attribute is name. So I'm selecting a select item element from the page who has a name equal to S. I'm getting that one. So that is how you access it. Because we are using XPath, we are just saying by XPath, because this one tells you like no matter where you are, it's just get me this select that has a unique name called S. So that is the XPath. So we are getting that item, and then we are setting its value to exact aware popularity rank. So how do we know what it has? So if you open the select, see here the value is exact aware popularity rank. So that's the value we want. For bestsellers, that is the value. So we are setting that select by value. So we are setting the value of that select element to exact aware popularity rank. Then we are sleeping again. We are doing a thread dot sleep for 5 seconds, and then we are starting the loop. The idea is that in the loop, first we want to make sure. So the way we do it is every time we click on the next pagination button, whatever is on that current page, if there are 50 items, we want to take the 50 items, put them into the list, and then we want to search the list, scrape the items, then we will move on to the next one. Again, we do find elements. So that's what we are doing. So basically what we are doing is, you can see I am trying to find elements by XPath, everything. So in my search, okay. So so we have escape characters here, because we can have a quotation mark inside. So we have this. So you have to remove that when you type the XPath inside the document here. You can see that I am talking about this particular div. Div data CSA C type. So that is the div that I'm using. Okay, so what I want to show you is when I type this, you can see in the bottom here. Let's see if I can zoom this further. No. Okay, you gotta pay attention to the bottom here. You can see that there is not just one item, there are 24 items. Okay, so when I say this item CSA C type C, that is number 3, number 4, so there are multiple items. So what I'm saying is, get me every element that says data CSA C type attribute equal to item. So that is what I want. Every single box, is a div, and all those divs that have data CSA C type equal to item denotes my item. So on the inside that item, once you get the item, you can see inside that there is more where we can actually get the price. See here. Here, price is inside this one. See, that's the price, 232. And then title is inside this one. Title instructions. But you just have to keep going down to get that. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that's kind of how it is. So that you can see that there are 24 items. So that is why we are saying find elements, not find element. So it is a plural here. We are saying find elements by XPath. Get me every single div. So how do you know what to find? So it is just by looking at the page. So you have to spend a lot of time trying to analyze the page, and then see which one gives you the best. There should be consistency in how these are, so you don't have to write a different code for every single item. So you have to find something that is unique, that is holding them, and make sure that you have your XPath in such a way that you are getting exactly the results that you want. So it is all about understanding your HTML, understanding the layout of the web page, and then deciding which item is the right item for us to capture. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm just capturing that div data. So that is going to give me that each and every box, right? So all the data inside every box will be in each of the Search result. Search result is a list of web elements. So one web element means like one particular div or link or whatever. So this one is list of web elements. So what does that mean? It gives me all the boxes are stored, multiple items are stored inside the search results. Now, so I can use a for loop for a web element item in search results. That's what it means, right? For each item inside the search result, what do I want to do? So I want to again use an XPath and get to those two things I talked to you about. One is going to be title instruction style. So that would give me element title element, and then here I'm getting the inner HTML of the title element. So you can see that there is a lot of complicated usage here. What happens if there is no title element? Then I want to catch that exception. So I'm here using Selenium's exception handling, a no such element exception, to tell the title does not exist. Next, I'm going to do a find element of price. So that is going to be inside a price, a dash price. That is the class. So I'm getting the inner HTML. Again, if there is no such element, I am adding the no such element exception. Now I'm printing out the item, title and price. Okay, so this is going to be a loop. And then what I want to do is, now once I scrape all the items in the page, right, I get this div first, the big div, then I get the little guys, this one and this one. I do the same for this guy, same for this guy, same for this guy, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then once all the items are done, I have to click on this next button. So let's click on the next button. So let's hover over this guy. I clicked on that guy so we understand what he looks like. So you can see there is a link, it's a link called next. So let us see how our code looks now. So I'm looking at a link with class as pagination item. So this is a big class, right? So that's what I want. So let us see see the class is pagination class item, whatever. That's what I'm using. Okay, so I try to get that item and then I'm looking to see if the pagination is enabled, which means that I can click on the next button. Then what I want to do is forget about this code for a minute. All I'm doing is I'm clicking on that link and then I'm doing a sleep, because every time I click on a page I have to wait, make sure that all the elements are loaded. I don't want to just jump the gun here. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay, the catch exception is no such element. Again, if the next button it does not exist, then what do I want to do? I want to say that the pagination element does not exist. I am setting the counter to -1. So this is basically an exit criteria for me. I am saying, hey, there is no more element. I just want to get out. So counter greater than 0 is greater than or equal to 0 is my control variable basically. So I want to keep looping till counter becomes -1, till I don't see the next item at all. Okay, or if it is not enabled, I don't do anything. I just try to go, if it is visible but not enabled, that's another thing. So you can do it any which way. I'm just like doing what I wanted to do. So like I said, Amazon, especially for iPhone, returns a lot of pages and I don't want to be sitting here running the script forever. So what I'm doing is I say, like, when the page count reaches 10, just break, don't do anything further. So the break will like get us out. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just saying if the page count, so I'm keeping tab of how many page counts have happened so far. So this is just so I don't like sit here waiting for the script. If it is a reality situation also, you may want to limit like how many pages you want to scrape. Who knows, depending on like how long you want your script to be running. So that's what's happening. So just let me think about it. So when you do not have this no such element exception, what happens is sometimes when you look at the page, I've had a situation where this number, the cost, the price is not displayed because it will say um, uh, many options are available or something like that. So in that case, that you when you the item you're looking for, the element will not be there, which means it's going to blow up. You don't want like that to happen because there are valid situations where the price won't be displayed. So let me like try to find one item like that. See here, this one, this guy, does it says click here to see the price. There is no price there. Okay, so this one is on page 2, item 3. So let us see how we handled it. So that's page 1. So here you can see price does not exist. So when the price does not exist, you just want to like write it out and then be done with it. So this one was fine, but this one there is no price. So that's what we wrote. So just make sure that you are handling exceptions, because definitely for scripts, exception handling is really vital. Otherwise your script's going to fail for every single possible situation. So you want to make sure that you are handling, if something is enabled or disabled, if anything that is programmatically capturable, that you want to make sure that you capture it. So the one thing I've not done is close the browser, but I will do that. So I just wanted to like give you an idea of like how we can like all the things that you've learned, how you can put together into writing a use case that is more meaningful and that is also flexible and can do some little bit of um, um, you can add some control statements and loops inside it, handle exceptions, do some validation. So that's the idea. I hope this was useful. I will put this code, I will make this code available so you can try it by yourself. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.